Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. And you can also follow through social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or X. I hope everyone is enjoying today, especially after a fantastic win, 3-0 for the first leg for Manchester United on the road against Atletico. Today is the episode just talking about the post game. I will be making a comment about what else has been going on as well later on at the end. This is mostly just talking about the win. I don't want to take anything away from that. Today is about the brilliance of what the women's squad did today against Atletico. Listen, I mentioned on the preview last night, it's tough going on the road, and I was expecting it to be tough because the first time when we played them, it was a tough battle the first time when we played them. The press was there, 2 red cards, only a single goal. We had our struggles, but we were able to maintain and hold them back with just 10 for the majority of that game, and then they got the red and we were even, but still, we had a battle for that first match. And today, everything looked like it was clicking on all cylinders. It did. Listen, there were some times where you got those lucky breaks. There were times where those lucky breaks came in. Tulis Joyce, make sure you hug those posts. Make sure you hug your defenders. They did a brilliant job. She did a fantastic job today between the posts. She was brilliant today as well. Listen, the whole squad again. The back four played well. Obviously, the Sandberg injury. We'll wait for an update from Skinner. We'll have another press conference in the next day or two because they are playing London City on Sunday. So we will be seeing how that goes. But again, it was still great. Quick goal early. It was great to see. Great finish by Turland. The Mallard goal. Mallard again, who has been brilliant the last few games, has definitely been the best player. Was fantastic today. 2 helpers and a goal. Her goal was fantastic too. It was great. She did, definitely the player of the match. That's not a secret there, ladies and gentlemen. Look how well she played today. But yeah, everything looked well. Again, hands down to Atletico. They had opportunities to get goals in. There were opportunities. And now we have the tough challenge of we have to protect home. The next match is there at home. Yes, we're up 3-0, but we have to still defend. We still have a second leg to go. I don't want to look past this. But again, it was a well-played match. It was. The shot blocking, Letitia and Janssen, the speed of Riviere today. She was great on the wing, getting the stretches out, had opportunities. Unfortunately, she had 1 or 2 shots. Crosses in, they were feeding the ball. The movement was doing well. Miyazawa, those 2 were brilliant midfielders today. The mid was controlled. We controlled the midfield. We controlled the movement of the ball. You saw the challenges. You saw them not break the pressure. You saw the ball movement. This team played very well. You saw what they were capable of doing. And they were able to close it out. Again, there was the task of them going on the road and just trying to get something. That's the thing. Yes, we may have won when we played them earlier on, but going back there again and getting the goals and playing very well, getting a clean sheet again, playing very clean. Again, no red cards. There were a yellow or 2, but there were cautions. They were prepared. They were doing a good job moving it. Wingerham, who played today, who started, looks like he kind of did go. Looks like Skinner. I got Skinner's prediction right when you look at it here, because when I talked about it yesterday, let me just get up my lineup from yesterday. Where was it? Was this the one here? No. Yeah, so the lineup for yesterday that I was looking at was, again, Riviere, Cizier, Janssen, Sandberg in the back four, Miyazawa, Olme in the mid, and then you had Wangham, Park, Mallard, and then Turland as your attack. So he definitely went with that. And when you look at it, you kind of saw a 4-3-3 formation, the way certain things were looking out, but it played in well. Park played very well in her position. They played, the game plan worked in the end. It worked out well for what they did. Obviously, my formation was, when you look at the formation, you definitely saw 4-3-3. But in the end, we got the win. We got the points, and we came away with 3 points. Like, as much as it's great that we won, 3 points doesn't get us to the next round. It's goals, and we scored. And when you looked at us during Champions League, let me just get everything here. Does it have the updated? When we played 6 games, does it have our? Yeah. We struggled with goals. We were averaging just over a goal a game, and defensively, we gave up 9. We gave up 9. Now, how do I put this into those 9 games? Let's just take a look here. Those 9 games, or those 6 goals. Those 9 goals. Let me just get these up here. So moving away from that. Lyon, we gave up 3. Wolfsburg, we gave up 5. So 8 of those goals came from 2 games. And it's against teams that are very well. What was it? I was just looking at, what was it? Was it on this? Because I was looking at the chart on the Champions League. Let me just get that up here. Can I get the Women's Champions League? There we go. Let's just take a look here. Table, season. Yeah, because I was just looking at it here. Fixtures by round. So right now, yeah, Wolfsburg is playing, and Wolfsburg was one of the best teams. One of the toughest teams that we faced. But Lyon is top. But yeah, we gave up 8 goals in those games to those 2 teams. The other match that we gave up a goal, let me just get that up here. Almost there, guys. Sorry. It should have been Paris Saint-Germain. So our 9 goals, because again, we played very well. We played well against Atletico when we first played them. Valerenga, you played well, again, tough. And then Juventus, we scored. Yeah, because Juventus, we won. We came out 1-0 on that. But again, our goals were an issue. Scoring was an issue. Today, yes, it came alive. The depth is there. We have players that can help and get us going. Mallard is in stride and is in form and is playing fantastic. You've seen that over the last few games. The rotation is there and the pieces there. We do have depth today. And I know I was watching some clips from some pundits, especially with CBS. They were definitely talking about the additions of the 3 that we added on. And those 3 additions do help. They help with depth, they help with scoring, they help with movement of the ball. And it's something that we need, because we're going to be facing teams that are tough. We are. Like, if we make it through, I believe we're expected to face Bayern in the next round. That's going to be a tough challenge. I don't want to be jumping a gun or anything. That's why I said if we're facing an important. But, and I don't, as I stated, if we still have that second leg to go, we have to defend home. We have to get everything going. We have to move the ball. We cannot let them come back in, especially on our home turf. We have to be just as perfect as we were today. Like we were good. They had opportunities. They had missed opportunities. It's good that our defenders were on the right page. The free kick that they got, I believe Tulis Joyce got her fingers on it just to get it to hit the crossbar. Everyone played great. Losing Sandberg sucked. Having her get subbed off at the 48th minute. Having Gabby George come on, who's just coming back from injury, has had a few minutes in a couple of games, but having her come back and stepped in, she played fantastic as a substitute. She did great stepping in. Nelson came in as well. And then, well, we had to make the substitution because Wangham got a yellow. There were some physicality, and especially some of the things that she was playing. She was playing okay today. She did. She played average. And then you had Simi Awojo come in as well for rotation. And overall, it was good. Park was good. She maintained the control of the ball. When you have her like that, I know people want excitement and scoring and all this stuff, but when we have her controlling the way she does with her feet, which again, she is fantastic. It does help. The movement and everything, having that with her, you saw Ome and Miyazawa, the movement of the ball with them in the middle worked out well. We saw that there. She did play very, very well today. And you saw that there. You saw them control the ball, move it through. They did everything. They executed everything very well. They did. But again, I'm happy with the win. I'm happy with what they have to do. The next stage is tough. Now, the one thing too is, what is the status of Sandberg? We'll wait and see. Again, the press conference, hopefully we don't see her Sunday against Lion City. She's resting and she's ready to go next week. Nothing about Gabby George. Nothing that I'm discrediting her or anything. It is just depth. It is just having pieces there. We do have pieces. We have Lundqvist that can come in. We have Millie Turner. We have players that can make an impact, but it's just a matter of depth. You want to make sure that we have the right pieces there to go forward and get that there. And not having Rolfo, not having Toon, Galston, they're not there. We're still missing 3 other players. So if we can get them back as well, and I know Toon's expected to be gone until at least March, which sucks. But hopefully, if we are to the next successful into the next round, we see that there. But the one thing too is we do have the depth, and that's the one thing I'm happy about going into this next stages is that depth. Is that Skinner can now look into his pocket and be like, all right, we're going to go with this. We're going to go with her. We're going to, I like this, the setup there. Again, when we looked at it at the beginning of the season, you saw the exhaustion there with the players. You saw, you saw the rotation of Mallard, Rolfo, Turland, the exhaustion of the back 4. You saw that there. Having these 3 acquisitions impacts it positive in a way that it helps with this. And again, if they can go and make that deep run, perfect. And those acquisitions there can help as well. It's just Skinner's in that situation where rotation, moving the ball, finding the right pieces, finding the right combination, making sure everything is just working well to get them to that next stage, to when we face those important matchups that we're prepared. That's the one thing, right? We're prepared, ready to go. So it's just a matter of timing and working things out. So, player ratings. Let's do our player ratings for tonight. Tulis Joyce, going with 8.5. Sandberg, will give us. Sandberg will keep a 7. Janssen, Letitia, Riviere, I'm going to give 7.5. Sandberg was playing well. It is just unfortunate that she had to get substituted off due to the injury. But to me, she just played well. Miyazawa in that front. Again, they're like 7. I gotta give them 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. Olme with the goal. I have to give her. Giving her an 8. Mallard. Yeah. So, let's just get this one thing here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Yeah. Miyazawa 7.5. Park 7.5. Olme 8 with a great goal. Mallard. She's getting a 9. I think this is my first 9 I've ever given out. Birmingham, she did play well. 6.5. It's just the yellow. She had to get substituted off with that. Again, she did play well. She did. 6.5. Turlin, I'm gonna give an 8. She played. Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm gonna give an 8. I'm being very generous today. So just give me a moment here. Owojo came on. She was only on for the 83rd minute, so I'm gonna give her 6.5. 6. Yeah, 6. 6. And then George coming on. I'm gonna give her 7.5. Yeah, I'm going to give Gabby George a 7.5. She did great today, especially when Atletico was getting those options in and putting the pressure on. Yeah, she stepped in, put in the pressure, like helped out. She made some great options there too. Yes, we got corners, but she did a great job stepping in. So 7.5. So once again, 8.5 Tulis Joyce, Sandberg 7, Janssen, Letitia Riviere 7.5, Miyazawa Park 7.5, Olme 8.5, Mallard 9, Wangerham 6.5, Turlin 8, Wojo 6, and then George 7.5. Again, everyone played well. They did. It was a good match. It was great. But yeah, I think everyone played. I think everyone played well. They did. I think everyone did play extremely well to what they need, like for what they did. Everyone played extremely well for this 3-0 win. The win on the road. Let's remember that. Part of my ratings are why it's really high is because it's not just about what they did, like the winning 3-0. It's doing it on the road and doing this performance. They had to travel and do this. For the last time there was a struggle. They played well. They stepped up. This is great for what they did. To do this on the road, yes, they deserve the ratings that they have here. They did this very well. So it was, yeah, it was a great performance by the women's squad. It was. So preview. I'll be back Saturday with the preview, with the match and everything. So keep an eye out for that preview against London City. Then back Tuesday, catch up on a little bit of the men's squad. Wednesday, preview again. Tuesday, preview of the women's squad. Wednesday, going to do an episode catching up on the men's squad. Thursday, post game with the women's game, because that's the second leg. Then Saturday, again, with preview of the FA Cup against Chelsea. So we have another busy week. Actually, it might be Friday Chelsea preview, Saturday. Oh yeah, every day next week is gonna be fucking busy. Just looking at my schedule, and yes, I'm going to try and aim to do the live game too. So it is a busy week. So episode Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because the men are back on the 23rd against Everton. So, yes. Yeah. So I'm going to try and get that live game ready to go as well. So, but yeah, tune into that again, back Saturday preview, and then post game Sunday after the match against the London City Lionesses. So little break and then back, and then even more of a busy week next week as well. Okay. This next part is, I know I mentioned it yesterday before I did the preview of the match. I am aware of the comments of what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said. And I have been seeing Twitter and everything going on today about that. And part of me, again, yesterday I didn't want to make those comments. I made the statement that I did because I wanted to focus on the preview of the women's squad because they had a match today, which ended up being fantastic. Today, and that's why I'm waiting till the end of this, because again, I don't want this to take away from what the women's squad did today. But it does impact them as well, because again, we're Manchester United. It's not just the men's squad. It's not about the under 18s. It's everyone that is associated with that badge. Anyone who is with them. What he has said, I do not agree with. Again, and please understand this. Part of it, why I've held back it is, one, waiting to see what the club has said. Two, to see if he's going to retract anything. Obviously, he did not really retract anything. Thirdly, again, I will be speaking in regards to the club. Understand that I am a fan who is outside the UK. I am across the Atlantic. I'm in another country. Do I agree with what he said? No. The reason why I'm saying it is because, again, he's not just an owner of Ineos, he's also an owner of Manchester United. So what he says as that owner also looks as the owner of this club as well. And we know the Prime Minister has made his comments. We know the mayor of Manchester now has come out and made his comments. We are seeing all the news outlets. I've also seen an interview of the reporter that he did the interview with come out and talk about what happened in that interview, especially with the words that were used. So right now, I know it's 24 hours. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yes, there is an impact of this club. Yes, we will wait to see how it progresses. I know there's talks of the FA going into the rules to look into this, what's going to happen next. I know the fan base and everything, and I even said some comments like about potentially selling. But right now, we're in a state of what's happening next. And listen, I can go on for a rant, but for the way it represents this club, I'm looking at towards what it's the representation of this club, because again, he represents the club. Whatever he says does impact. And for the stuff that he has said this year, and some of the comments that he has said, it has, and the way everything has worked out the last 2 years since they have taken over ownership, it has been, how do you say, a tire fire. There are times where I have stepped in and said, all right, let's give him time. But realistically, it has been a tire fire for everything going. I know he made a comment about changes. Well, the changes that he has made has really fucked the club. But I wanted to get that comment out as well about what happened with Sir Jim. But please understand, the reason why I'm saying this now is because, and why I'm doing it after, because again, I don't want to take the victory away of what the women did. But what this owner has said, not just doesn't impact the men's squad, it goes after this squad here as well. It goes after the 18s, the 21s. It goes after anyone who's willing to wear that badge. whether it's in the UK, outside, it's there. And we as a club need to make sure we show the club shows, we know what the club has said. How do I say this? And I know how the fan base is acting. It is. And like I said, he represents the club. That club is not just the men's squad. It is this club here. It is this squad here that I just talked about. I talked about the winning of 3-0 on the road in a tournament, who is having a successful season. And you know what? Even with the comments today, they showed up winning 3-0. I'm just saying. So, but I'm going to leave it there. We know there's going to be more to report. We know more is going to be coming out over the next few days of what's going to happen. But I wanted to get out and just say, I do not agree with what he said. I stand by what the fan base is. I stand by, and I know the club came out with their announcement, and that's kind of only the best way they can state what they can say. That's what they can. But as a person who owns our club and is there for who owns our club and is a face, and whose comments make an impact in the way things have been going with him, this thing, it hurts the status, and it impacts the community that's around it. When you have the Prime Minister and the mayor stepping in and questioning what you have been saying, maybe, and the way he didn't really apologize. He just tried to correct himself, and in a way. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. So I just wanted to get that out with what's going on and everything. And again, I mentioned it last night at the end of the episode too. To those of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, my condolences again to those impacted friends, family of the shooting. To all of them, again, my condolences for the losses. And again, it's not just I'm in Ontario. We feel the impact here. I know the world has felt that impact as well. But again, my condolences to those who have been impacted, to the injured, to those that have lost their lives. My condolences to those families who are going through this difficult time as well. Yes, so I'll leave that there for the podcast. So again, I'll talk to you guys on Saturday with the preview. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. I'll talk to you guys on Saturday. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, whether it's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and X as well. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.